So, get this, Google is basically sending its most advanced AI, Gemini, into the absolute darkest corners of the internet. Today, we're going to break down this high-stakes showdown between cutting-edge artificial intelligence and a global network of cybercrime. Let's get right into it. Okay, put yourself in the shoes of a security analyst for a second. Your whole job is to protect your company from all the bad stuff online. But every single day, you are slammed with this massive tidal wave of data from the dark web. We're talking 10 million posts. So the real question isn't if there's a threat buried in all that junk, it's how on earth do you even begin to find it? All right, so here's our game plan. First, we need to really wrap our heads around the scale of that data flood. Then we'll meet Google's new AI detective, and I'll walk you through exactly how it hunts for threats. We'll see how it just slices right through all that noise. And finally, we'll look ahead at what this all means for the future of AI and security. First up, that data flood. You see, the challenge of watching the dark web isn't just about the nasty stuff on there. It's the absolutely overwhelming volume of it all. It really is like looking for a needle in a digital haystack, if the haystack was the size of a mountain. Just let that number sink in for a minute. 10 million. That's roughly how many posts, data leaks, and other potential threats a security team might have to sift through every single day. I mean, trying to find one credible threat in that mess with old-school tools, it's next to impossible. So you have a basically impossible problem. What do? Well, Google's answer is you build a smarter detective. And that's exactly what they've done with this brand new Gemini-powered intelligence tool that's designed for this one specific job. And listen to how Brandon Wood from Google's threat intelligence team puts it. He says the goal isn't just to see everything. The AI's real job is to understand it. And then, and this is the important part, to distill down what threats actually matter. It's all about finding that one tiny signal in an ocean of noise. So how does this thing actually work under the hood? Let's walk through the process. We're going to use a hypothetical company they mentioned, Acme Bank, to see this AI detective do its thing. The whole process is actually pretty elegant, but it's incredibly powerful. First, Acme Bank just confirms who they are. Then Gemini goes to work, building this super detailed profile of the bank using nothing but publicly available data. With that profile ready, it scans all those millions of daily posts, looking for chatter that matches. And then, this is the magic. It generates alerts that are already ranked for you based on how serious and relevant they are. But how does it connect the dots when no one names names? It uses this really clever method called vector comparison. Let's say some hacker posts about selling access to a large North American bank. Gemini can look at the little details in that post, like the bank's assets or number of employees, and it compares them to Acme Bank's public profile. It sees the match and, bam, flags it as a huge threat, even though the name Acme Bank was never even mentioned. And this right here is what makes this tech a real game changer. It's not just a little bit better, it's a completely different way of thinking about threat intelligence. Let's just look at the before and after. So over on the left, you've got the old way, the traditional tools. They just scrape for keywords. It's really simple pattern matching. And the result is that an incredible 80 to 90% of the alerts are false positives. It's almost all noise. Now look at the right, the Gemini agent. It actually understands context. It uses that detailed profile we talked about, and it delivers alerts that actually matter. The difference is just night and day. And this chart really puts that difference in perspective. I mean, it's stark. Where the old tools might get it right maybe 10 or 20% of the time, the Gemini agent is showing an absolutely staggering level of accuracy in tests. Let's just focus on that number for a second, 98%. That's the accuracy read that Google's own team saw when they were testing this system. That is a monumental leap forward. It means security teams can finally trust the alerts that their system is giving them. And you know what? This is really just the beginning. This dark web tool is only one part of a much bigger AI strategy that Google has, which opens up some pretty fascinating possibilities and some really important new questions. Yeah, so it's not just this one agent. Google is also rolling out agents that can investigate alerts all on their own, and even a platform for customers to build their own custom security AIs. We're talking about creating an entire ecosystem of AI agents all working together to defend a network. Which leaves us with one final and pretty crucial thought. These tools are becoming an incredibly powerful shield, but as we hand over more and more autonomy to them, you have to ask, could the very thing designed to protect us end up becoming a new, powerful way to attack us? It's probably the biggest question facing the entire field of cybersecurity as we step into this next frontier.